You will always forever go down as the most enigmatic, the most controversial, 1-2 punch, big little in the history of the game.
He's my big brother. I mean, what can you say? I mean, we've grown up here in LA together. We play very well together. We went through a period of time where we struggled to find ourselves, but we have, and it's a good rhythm that we have.
You know, people think you have to be lovey-dovey to win championships.
It doesn't matter if we had disagreements this and the other. Our drive to win, like we have to win. There's no other option.
People always ask me, if you had to go back and do it again, what would you do? Nothing.
But through that friction, we managed to win 3 championships in a row.
This is something that I have to live with, that Kobe has 5 and Shaq has 4. So I gotta live with that all my life.
That brings me so much joy.
He had an aura about him that I've never seen in an 18-year-old. The aura was kind of either this kid's really cocky or he believes in it. Do you remember what you told me one day in the forum when I first met you? You said you were going to be the finish it for me.
With the greatest player of all time?
Yes. You remember you told me that?
No, but that sounds something.
No,
that sounds like something that I would say.
I remember him at 18 years old telling me he's gonna be the Will Smith of the NBA. Yeah, and I was like, all right, okay,
Will Smith.
You say.
Yeah, times have changed. Yeah, man, I've always had ambition.
I was like, slow down, young fella. But he had a dream, he had a vision. Another thing you told me as an 18-year-old, I'm gonna be better than Mike. So I knew it definitely drove you. You know, it's always gonna be there, those comparisons when somebody's come before you. So I knew one day that he's gonna be whatever he sets out to be.
What most people don't know is our story goes back when I met you
in Orlando.
In Orlando.
Right. He came to Orlando to see Penny.
And I came to a game, and Penny back then was my role model. And, I looked up to him quite a bit. I asked to take a picture with him. He kind of brushed me off.
And he had this sad look on his face, and I grabbed him. Was like, "Come on, man, take a picture." I never knew that was him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never knew that was him until he told me. When we did that TNT Laker thing, he said, "You don't remember meeting me?" He never told me that. Like, through all the years that we played in there, he never told me that.
And that's when the first time I met you.
I don't know if you know this, but we get a call from Jerry West, and my agent. 2 a.m. Me and Jerome, we out at the club. So we get to the Omni Hotel. Jerry West is in a Versace house coat. Come on up, big fella.
Come on in, big
fella. And I come like, how you doing, Mr. West? He said, I got some good news, I got some bad news. I said, what's the bad news? He said, I can't get you the 150 you asked for, but I can get you 120. He showed me the contract, and I've never seen so many zeros in my life. Cool. So I'm signing. And as I'm signing, he puts his hand on my shoulder. He said, let me tell you something. I just got this kid. I don't know how I got this kid. I got a kid named Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. You and him, we gonna get multiple championships. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, but I'm trying to sign. I wasn't worried about none of that. I was just trying to get to that 120 and trying to get to that 120. And that was the first time I knew of your greatness. And he wanted it right away. A lot of guys don't have that when they come in. A lot of guys just like to go through the rope, but he wanted it. So his rookie year, we let him do what he do, make his mistakes. But the defining moment in his greatness was we were playing Utah. Nobody wanted to take the last shots. I'm not taking the last shot, shooting 40% from the free throw line. Y'all ain't gonna be talking about me. Mm-hmm. Shaq lost the game. One thing, what I loved about you as an 18-year-old is you wanted it. A lot of guys on our team didn't want it, but you wanted it at a 18-year-old. And that's why in the Utah game, everybody talks about those airballs. I wasn't mad at you. So he takes 3 shots to airballs. If you can remember, and I hope you can show this clip, I was the one that grabbed him and said, hey, man, don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. One day people gonna fear you. And that's why I was the first one to come grab you and say, hey, I know everybody's laughing and giggling now, but one day people will fear you at the end of the game. And the next year he come in, and we come in a little more. He wanted it, he wanted it, he wanted it, he wanted it, he wanted it.
Like, did you see anybody you played with that eventually developed that killer instinct?
Yeah, his name was Kobe Bryant. Because when he first came in, his first 2 years, he was an NBA player, but it's not to that second, third year that he became Kobe Bryant. Remember his rookie year. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time, so. When he was 18, he used to be in the locker room dribbling and shooting without the ball for hours. And then you see him practice the same move on the court. Like, he was obsessed with being the best ever. He'd always, I could do stuff in my head without practicing, but he would do stuff in his head in practice. So, we in the game going over warm-ups, and he'd just get up and go. Get his move, and take his dribble to his leg, but come back, pump fake shit like he would actually do that. Just pump faking and moving around so we're without a ball. You can't guard me. like just talking to himself. We're like, me, Fisher, Fox, we're all looking at him like, so we just let him be.
Did you say anything to him?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, wait, Eric, how long did that go on? How long did that go on?
For a couple months. And then he'd go in the game and do it. We was like, damn. So, we knew that with his determination that, he was going to be somebody. My favorite Kobe moment is in the finals in Indiana. I file out. And I'm like, damn, I let the team down again. Mm-hmm. And you put your hand on my shoulder and said, don't worry, big fella, I got it. Mm-hmm. And you took over.
The Lakers take a 3-1 series lead.
Always knew you was a bad cat, but that moment right there, because you had no fear. I was like,
well, I knew how much it meant to you, right? And as brothers, you don't let your brother down, right? It wasn't my time yet. This championship was yours, right? Because you had worked hard to get us to this point, right? For your whole career in Orlando and all the disappointments, and here you are. And it's my responsibility to pick that up.
I fouled out. Kobe Bryant took over. He's a fabulous player. And now, uno más to go.
How would you press it? Tell us.
I pressed his buttons and said, this ain't your team. This is my team, little man. You might be Kobe, but I'm the Shaq. We don't always get along.
Right.
But if the respect is there,
right,
you can never be beaten. Like, y'all know him. He was alpha. Y'all know me. I was an alpha. We didn't always agree on things, but when it come time to compete on the court, I think the fact that we always competed with each other made us even more unstoppable. So me being the leader of the team, I knew what I had. I used to mess with him all the time. Because I already know I'm giving you 28, 29, 30, 40. Now I got to get him to give me that because I could never do it by myself. It had to be a 1-2 punch. Look, I got a little brother. We argue all the time. My cousin lived with me. We argue and fight all the time. But the thing that kept us going was the respect. The key thing that was there was the respect thing was there. When I get double teamed, I'm looking for him. When he get double teamed by the rim, he's looking for me. Seem to hate each other. If he gets double teamed, he's going to still drop it off for the lob. I ain't got to like you. I ain't got to do what you do. But if you open in the corner, Matt, even if we had a fight the other day, I know you're going to knock that down for me.
Yeah.
I'm kicking it. Game 7 versus Portland. If we hate each other so much, how come after he crossed Scotty up, how come he didn't take the shot? If you look at all the documentaries, the first championship, there's 20,000 people in the arena, and I go and put my hand up like this. One guy runs and jumps in my arm. Who's the first guy that jumps in my arm? So the respect thing was there. So if we hate each other, how you have that moment? All that other shit that everybody was trying to boom, 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 boom. It's a myth if you think that if you're working in a closed environment, everybody gets along. I guarantee you that's not the case. I know for a fact it's not the case.
I knew for sure Rick Fox, my teammates, they all thought I was absolutely crazy the day me and Shaq got in a fist fight.
I think I can remember the first time we had our first fight, and you looked and said, okay, this is crazy.
I did say that.
Yeah, I did.
Crazy.
You did. Anyway, we were playing a pickup game. We was doing a lockout season, Southwest College, playing a pickup game. We're on opposite teams.
Right.
And trash talking.
Yes.
And you kept saying, yeah, take that little. I'm like, I'm looking around. Oh, me.
Yes.
Right? And I said, hold on, ain't gonna be too many more of those little,
Yeah, I remember that.
And what'd you say? Well, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? And then that's, the next thing I knew, I saw a big hand coming this way, and I remember going this way, and I remember throwing some lollipop. Golden Polynese came and caught, and then they all just kind of broke us apart, broke us up.
That day was a big turning point for him because it was like, he's generally used to talking trash and saying what he wants and nobody really stepping up and challenging him on that. And when he saw me challenge him on that, he was like, this kid's crazy. All right, I can win with that.
And then from that moment on, I knew we spoke the same language. Doesn't matter if we had disagreements this and the other, our drive to win, like we have to win. There's no other option. I kind of perpetuated it out of the locker room because one thing I understood was marketing. So, yeah, I don't like him, he don't like me, and everybody talked about us. That's all I want. Kind of went too far to where people kind of believed it. But if you believed it, if we believed it, you think we went 3 out of 4? If it was real, you think that when we won our first championship, 30,000 people in the arena, one guy runs and jumps in my arm? So all it was a respectful
Big brother, little brother relationship.
After that day, they were like, okay, Kobe, you're certifiable.
Hey, Joe.
That's hilarious.
That must have been a crazy. It was this, man. It was this. Yeah, I missed me by inches.
Did we get along all the times on the court? No. But we know in sports, that's how it is in the locker room.
Well, I'm obsessive, and I believe we need to work night and day, figure out how to get to where we need to go. He wanted to do it a different way. And so there was constant challenge there to get that done. But I wasn't going back down from him. And neither was he. He felt I should play a certain way, give the ball into him. I said, I'll give the ball into you if you work. You don't work, you don't get the ball. He said, throw me the ball. No, work. My first year we were playing, and he kept posting up, but they kept fouling him, so he kept going to the free throw line and kept missing them. And so he'd throw the ball out to me. I'm not throwing that shit back in there, right? So I kept shooting him, right? So we get in the timeout, and he's like, hey, I'm open. I'm like, okay. And so we go out, and same thing, hey, I'm open. Okay. There you go. Come back in, hey, dude, you got to throw me the ball. I said, man, fuck that. Get it off the rebound if I miss, bro. 18 years old, man, 18 years old. And I must have been out of my damn mind. I never pulled any punches. What you see is what you get, man. Neither one of us are going to go, smile in your face and then go over here and we never did that. We'd say it right to each other, man, and be done with it. Now let's go out and win. He would say, okay, Kobe's not throwing me the ball. And, media would take it and run with it and all sort of stuff. And I'm like, well, bruh, if you were in shape, by the time I run down on a fast break and run back and then run down, you're still coming down the first time, bruh. Like, what the hell do you want me to do?
The guys were complaining. Said, Shaq, Kobe's not passing the ball. I said, I'll talk to him. I said, Kobe, there's no I in team. And Kobe said, I know, but there's an in me in that motherfucker. So I went back and told Rick and Big Shot Bob, I said, just get the rebound. He's not passing. I knew what I was going to give you. Know if I could have somebody else that can give similar and more, I was definitely going to win. So I was always the guy that presses buttons. I wanted to do something with him that I used to do when we played together. Like, I would just go in and be like, Kobe, I need 30 tonight. I'm tired. Kobe, I need 40 tonight. Kobe, free throws not falling. I need you to go out and do what you do. I used to come in and be like, hey, man, I'm tired today. I need you to get 40. He'd say, okay. Hey, man, I went to a club last night. I'm not doing it tonight. You do it. True story. So I was able, like, he had that type of motive. And he was a guy that I knew that if I talk smack, he gonna come out and try to score 50. Probably only pull that trick 15 times. He's probably 15-0 with whatever I demanded. He would go out and do it. But that's just the type of guy he was. He announced he was gonna be playing the last game. TNT flew down, and I did what I always did, even when he was a youngster. So last week on TNT, I challenged him because I knew it would be exciting for him and exciting for the fans. I said, hey, your last game, I think you should, hey man, I need you to get 50 tonight. I need you to get 50. And he was like, no, I can't do it. Kobe, they're doing a big celebration for you the last game. A lot of us are going to be there. Can you promise me one thing?
What's up?
I need 50 that night. Can you do it? Your last home game at the Staples, can you give us 50?
More than two. No. No, absolutely not.
All right, brother.
Absolutely not, man. But I'm looking forward to seeing you, man.
Yes,
likewise.
likewise.
That game one more time, man.
So when I walked into the arena yesterday, I was like, hey, remember our bet, you need 50. And he turned around with the look like he usually does and says, all right, I'll go for it. And at first, I was like, I might not get it, but then I got to 37 and 45 and then 57, and you hit that three and the crowd goes crazy. It was a great moment. And what'd he do? Went out and got 60. That was probably the last time I saw him. But I should have reached out. I should have got in his DM. I just should have. So now I'm just trying to reach out more to people that I know, people that I love, people that I care about.
Who would Shaq be if he had your work ethic? He'd be the greatest of all time. He'd be the first to tell you that, for sure. I mean, this guy was a force like I have never seen. I mean, it was crazy.
I was obsessed with being the most dominant. He was obsessed with being the best ever. And sometimes you sacrifice a lot of things, and he did. All he did was work out.
Man, this dude he did not care. He was mean. He was nasty. He was competitive. He was vindictive.
Because I had you, I was able to just chill out in the summer, do what I do.
See, he finally copped to the fact that after we won championships, he was like, okay, I can just relax and coast over the summer because I know I got a teammate who's going to be training 8-10 hours a day. And I was like, see, that's the BS.
That would piss me off.
That's it. That's what pissed me off. That was it right there. That was.
Listen, I got beat up. I got hack and Shaq. I was tired, man. And I know he felt sometimes that I didn't work hard or whatever. But again, it all worked. 3 out of 4.
I wish he was in the gym. I would have had 12 rings.
Kobe was a beast. Nobody worked harder than him. But I think you could find success in many ways. See, Kobe was just getting married, getting to his family. I'm already 4 kids in. So after I put in my 2-3 hours of work, now I have to be daddy. Now I have to be husband. Now I have to take care of business. And mentally, I'm so strong, I don't need to work out for these bums anyway. That's what I'm thinking. So, I think it would have been a better question if we'd have no championships, no MVPs, and I would have been an absolute familiar. But the resume you just read, that was a hell of a resume, sir.
It's a hell of a resume. Can't question that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then when I left, it wasn't about me and him, it was about the business of basketball. The reason why I got traded, it wasn't about me and Kobe beef, it was what they wanted me to take less money. Not doing that. They wanted to go younger. They said, hey man, we owe you 40 next year, but we don't want to give it to you. We want you to go down to 25. After we split apart, were you trying to get more championships than me?
Absolutely. And I knew you were going to get one. Because of the energy, going into Miami and D-Wade and everything that was there, I knew you were going to get that one. So I knew I had to get at least 2 or 3.
Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. The LA Lakers, the 2010 NBA champions. 5 rings. 5 of them.
Do you think I was pissed when you got number 5?
Of course you were.
Oh,
no doubt.
I tore my house up.
No doubt. I bet you did.
No, I went crazy. Because when I got 4, you got 4, I was like, hey, I got 4, he got 4, let's straight. When you got that 5th one, and then hold on, you said, I just wanted to get one more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
TVs.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? There ain't nothing he can do about it either.
We had great times. We had respectable ups and downs, not real life ups and downs, respectable ups and downs. It's a big brother, little brother situation. CEO. I got a lot of guys that work for me. We don't always agree with things, but because we have respect for each other, that's why we always win championships. After we played, I wish we could have communicated more. I haven't seen or spoken to him in 11 years, and now you ask me about Kobe Bryant?
Well, I mean, when you're playing in a market like Los Angeles, everything becomes magnified. Right? And so it's never really the issue between 2 people because those things can be solved with a conversation.
Last time, we did the sit down everybody was waiting for. That's the last time I hollered. Like, I didn't get the number. I didn't text him. I didn't holler him. And that still haunts me. All the shit we went through, we could have shook hands and put that aside because people think it was worse than it was. It's just 2 brothers going at it.
But when things get hyped up a lot, all of a sudden you have other people intermingling in between. And we weren't mature enough to tell everybody else, shut up. Shut up. I know what to do. I know the right thing to do. We're going to do it.
Luckily, I won 3 out of 4 with this guy, but I was to this guy. So I owe you an apology. I'm going to give you an apology, but we ain't going to be doing all that crying. I love you for that moment. So thank you for that moment.
Thank you.
Me and Diesel got to stick together now more than ever, man. I know how we do.